back to the Dealing Seconds podcast with your hosts. I'm Chris.
And I'm Taylor Swift.
Save America again. We need it.
Save America again, Taylor
We
Swift.
need it. We need it. We are back, Dan. We are back.
Yes, we were gone for 2 weeks.
Yeah, about a couple weeks now. A couple weeks.
Yeah, life, you know.
Tell me about it.
Well, one was life. 2, we did record a podcast, and if you haven't heard in the playing card community, we did lose a very awesome, kind man earlier this month. But news kind of spread late last week about his passing. Kenneth Dorn, Ken Dorn, KD. He's known by many different names, depend on who you were, basically. To me, he was just K Dorn because he was a big supporter of my Kickstarters. So that's how I always saw his name. So that's just what I called him. His Instagram name is NBY Specials, but spells weird.
Yeah.
Because that's what you do on Instagram. So we lost him. So out of respect for him, we decided not to put out that podcast. Why? No, he wasn't mentioned. I know some people have asked why we didn't put it out, but kind of not going into why he passed away. I'm pretty sure if you know, you know, and just the negative vibes we put out a little bit on our Kickstarter reviews might have unintentional, of course, but I just didn't think it was right to put it out after learning of his passing, you know. Yeah. So that's really what it came down to, and maybe not just us, but to everybody. Just when you're criticizing things are fine, and people are fine, but got to be constructive with it, and not just shoot from the hip, you know, which we all tend to do. And hey, let's face it, that's what gets you clicks. The root, like Stephen A. Smith on ESPN. Why is he so popular? Because he's a dick. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And while sports players are a lot different than us because we don't get billions of dollars for fucking talking about cards, but it was just it hit a few of the card people pretty hard. I do know it hit me pretty hard just because of the year I've had, and he was the last person I sent a package to. I think I sent that to him a week or two before he passed, and It was his fulfillment for junior. Because he couldn't pay after the campaign funded, and we worked out a deal where, you know, hey, whenever you're ready to pay it, and I'll send it to you. No harm, no foul, you know. But yeah, so that was kind of just, you know, wow, that was like another wow moment. Like shit, man. So you know, I just kind of had to step back and do some personal reflections on things and the way I treat some people. And I reached out to a couple people and kind of mended some fences in the community. I'm not going to reach out to everybody because some fences don't need mending, but most of them do because they were for stupid, petty reasons. I mean, for sure. 52 pieces of paper shouldn't be that fucking important. You know what I mean?
They really are not. No, but honestly, Ken was a really good person in the community. I've only had like very minute conversations with him, like really small interactions. But even those, you could tell he was very sincere, a very good guy, you know, chill. He was he always liked all our stuff, whether it be, you know, our posts, our stories, whether it be on the Dealing Seconds Instagram or our personals. He was always active. Granted, you know, like you were saying, if you know what happened, but, you know, inner demons really can take one's, you know, mental state and throw it into a loop, I would say. So the only thing I would say is, guys, if you ever need to talk to somebody, we've put this on our Instagram as well. If you need to talk, hit us up. We are.
Yep.
You can always talk to us. We all have our inner demons, and trust us, there's no judgment here. I could probably speak for Danny when I say no judgment will ever be given onto you if you want to come talk to us. We got your back. Don't worry about it. Even if you want to come on our podcast and talk some funny shit and just have a good time, maybe that'll help you vent. Come on up. Hit us up. We'll get you on the podcast. We could talk some smack, you know, talk some jokes and have some good times. Maybe, you know, make light of situations instead of making it a darkened situation.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, if you haven't noticed, I think people have been posting, if you do decide, he does have his family has put up a GoFundMe. I think we all posted it. You might be able to still find it floating around. if I could find it, I will put it in the description below. If I could
Yeah.
find it again, if you decide to, you know, he was a good person in the community. If you want, if you can, donate, please do it to help out the family as well.
Yeah. And if not, if we
If not, just
I
maybe
got
a
the link
share,
here.
just a
Yeah,
share,
just share.
just a
Sharing
share.
is good.
That's all that
Sharing is
matters.
caring.
That's all that matters. And again, guys, we're here for you. If you want to talk, come on down. We'll talk to you.
Yeah. So, I just think going forward, don't worry, we're not going to kiss everybody's ass.
No, we're gonna
But
be.
we'll our,
I think
our
we're gonna be more. I think from now on, I think then we're gonna be more constructive versus saying that shit sucked. That shit sucked. It's more like,
yeah,
hey, how can we help these creators? In our opinion, of course, in our
yeah,
opinion, how can we help them get their campaigns across that finish line? Granted, you're a creator. You're a deck creator. I'm just a guy who plays with cards and does stupid shit. But maybe our little opinions can help the
right.
creator get over that finish line, get that extra funding that they need. And we won't. And of course, we'll be constructive criticism, no more bashing.
Yeah, I agree. So that's the hey, we're gonna save playing cards again or some shit like that. So, but yeah, that yeah. So that, I just wanted to take a moment and give a shout out to Katie. Just sucks, man.
Yeah, we're gonna miss
That,
you, man. We're gonna miss
yeah,
you. Rest in peace, man. Seriously, member or brother in the community, gone too
and
early, honestly.
just remember, community is way bigger than 52 Shades of Gray.
Yep, we all become friends. We all have lifelong friendships here now. I mean, I can say for a fact that Danny has become a good friend of mine. Everybody in the Dealing Seconds crew has become a good friend of mine. And I know if there's something I have wrong, I can contact them. Same vice versa. And you guys hit us up. Seriously, we would love to talk to you. You know.
Yeah, and I mean, hell, look at this. People that are friends in this community on Instagram, I don't really have any real life friends anymore. So COVID kind of killed that. So my friends are my Instagram friends. I consider, you and a few others like personal friends of mine, not just
Same.
some dude on the internet I fuck around with on a podcast once a week.
Same.
So
Same here.
so thank God for this day and age where you can be friends with people you'll probably never meet in real life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, unless you meet them in Vegas, even though they live like 20 minutes away from you.
Which that's still my favorite thing. I'm like, fucking man. We waited until Darren came from fucking Florida and Georgia and like fucking come out to Vegas to meet some dude some other guy who lives fucking 20 minutes from me.
By the way, Darren, happy belated, man.
Yes. And hey, if you ever get to meet Darren and hang out with Darren, his favorite thing to do, and you need to do this, and Darren, I know you're listening and watching, is when you're out taking pictures, make sure you take a picture of Darren taking a picture. It's his favorite thing. He loves it so much.
Good to know.
Okay. Yeah.
Good to know. Well,
Okay.
I think a good segue is we want to talk to somebody else. I think today we have someone really interesting that's going to be coming on our podcast.
Yeah, we have a guest today.
We do have a guest. We're going to make a fun little light situation now. We're going to have some fun with this guy.
Yeah.
You guys might know him as Midnight Playing Cards. That's his Instagram handle, but his name is Randy Butterfield. Awesome guy, great guy.
Awesome name, by the way.
Oh, 100%. He's done decks that you guys have probably know. You do definitely know, but you don't know it's him.
Yeah, I think I got a couple of them here.
Yep.
Like, I had no idea. I'll be honest with you. I had no idea this was him. No, I had no idea.
Did you know that he designed the Penguin Honeybees deck?
Yeah, that was crazy to learn about too. So this guy's is very successful.
Yeah, very successful. He even did the 52 plus Joker deck, I think, a few years ago, which I'm still like, didn't even realize. You know what, Dan? Let's get him on here. Let's talk to him. So, welcome to the podcast, Randy Butterfield. How's it going, man?
Good.
So, first off, all of a sudden, the Kickstarter's doing really well. I'm not gonna lie. That Kickstarter, of course, if you guys don't know, the link will be in the description below. Randy has a new Kickstarter going on right now. It is the Ireland deck. It is awesome. This deck is super damn sweet. I love it. First off, Randy, what made you go with the Ireland deck?
I do a lot of shows. to sell leftover decks and stuff. And I've noticed over the years kind of what sells to people and what doesn't. And I had some of my green euchre decks, and I got a lot of questions like if they're Irish or not and stuff like that. And some people bought them even though they weren't Irish, but they were Irish colors. And then we did the slots decks a couple years ago, and of course the biggest seller was the Irish looking one, the leprechaun one. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to do an Irish deck, like just go full bore and just do a fun Irish deck. And I like Ireland a lot anyway, so it just made sense to do one eventually.
Have you ever been to Ireland?
Yep. My wife and I went there. God, it was probably about 20 years ago.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, before our kids. So,
yeah.
Actually, no, it wasn't 20 years ago. It was probably about 18, maybe. I'm guessing. Okay, so yeah, about nice. 18. So, but still a long time ago. I don't know.
Everything's good before the kids, though. That's for sure. Once kids are born, you're like, okay, I'm done. I can't do anything fun. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Well, you can. We have to wait till they're like 16, 17, and then you could start enjoying life. Like that's where I'm at right now. Because my kids now, because I have two girls. One's gonna be 17 this year. The other one's turning 14 in 5 days. So I'm at that age right now where I'm like, but the way I see it is next year my older one graduates high school. So my personal thing is I'm gonna take them to Europe. That's like gonna be like my high school graduation for them both. Be like, hey, we're going to Europe for like a good 2 weeks. Take time off, experience the world a little bit. Get out of just the U.S. Experience other cultures.
Mm-hmm. So definitely. Well, our kids are 13 and 15, and last year they got to pick the vacation, so it was Orlando, and I got sick of all the. We've been to Disney World with them about 4 times now, and I was like, okay, I'm done with this for a long time. So so we told them this year we're doing something low key. We're going to like the Smoky Mountains, just rent a cabin for like a week.
Nice.
And then next year we're going to England.
Oh, nice.
That's
my son's not a my wife's family's in California, so we go to California like every 12 to 18 months, and he does not like flying, so he's a little worried about it, but he'll be all right.
What part of California?
The Bay Area. They're more in the Central Valley, but we fly into SFO usually, and then just rent a car and drive out there. It's like 2 hours east of the Bay Area. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. That's where I'm at.
Okay.
I'm about 20 minutes from Oakland. So.
Oh, I used to live in Alameda.
Oh, well, yeah. I work in Concord, if you know where that is.
Where, Concord, you say?
Yeah, which is right by Walnut Creek, Lafayette area. So yeah.
I used to walk. We used to work in Alamo.
Yeah.
I moved out to the Bay Area in 2000 when I got divorced from my first wife, and got a job at an ad agency out there. And I got out there. We were downtown San Francisco, and like a year into it, the .com boom.
Oh shit!
hit.
Yeah.
So they like tripled the rent on us. So we moved to the East Bay in Alamo, and then the .com crash hit. And so then we moved back to San Francisco a few years later. It was wild. It was insane. So it was interesting being out in the Bay Area during all that stuff and seeing it.
Like the heart of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Crazy.
Well, hey, so how did you get around to, how did you get in the cards?
I've always done like night projects just to kind of stay creative, because like my day job's like a lot of clients and stuff, and so I used to do animated shorts, and then my cousin wrote me into, probably about 12 years ago, wrote me into helping him design a board game that he had an idea for, and we did it. And then I was like, hey, we got the biggest board game convention in the country right here in Indianapolis with Gen Con. And so I was like, well, let's just get a booth and try to sell it to a producer or something. And we get there, first thing people say is like, why don't you just use Kickstarter? And I'm like, what's that? And so So I looked up Kickstarter, and the first thing I saw was the Revision One deck. Do you guys know that one?
No, not off the top of my
Way
head, no.
way before
It's
my time.
from, I think it's Adam Clarkson from Circle City Cards, and it's like a blueprint theme deck. It was probably about 11 years ago, 11 or 12 years ago, and first thing I saw was that on there. I was like, oh, that looks like fun, you know. And I was like, oh, this guy's from Indianapolis. I can do something like that. And so after we got done with the board game thing and that didn't go anywhere, I was like, I'm just going to start designing playing cards. And then I started designing the ornate decks. And then I started posting pictures of it online. And Kevin Raylick contacted me and told me about like they were starting up HOPC at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, okay, I'll do it with you guys and stuff. And it's just kind of went from there. And with so I was doing some decks with HOPC for a while and Blue Crown. I did a couple designs with them, mostly freelance stuff. And after a while, I was like, okay, I just want to do my own thing. So like the first two Draconians were my first solo projects. So
okay,
cool.
I have no idea how long ago that was.
No, that's actually super cool. I mean, honestly, first off, guys, Randy was super nice, sent us all decks. It was just amazing. And the decks that you sent me, I'm like looking at these decks, I'm like, I did not realize you designed a lot of these decks. I'm like, decks that I've used and I've actually really do enjoy. I'm just like, holy shit. I'm like, one of my favorite things was the honeybees, the penguin honeybees.
Oh yeah.
And all of a sudden the funny thing was James, one of the Dealing Seconds brothers, he actually had a little funny thing with Penguin where he got like a half brick of honeybees gilded sent to him by accident instead of the regulars. So he sent me one of those gilded. But I'm looking at the design, I'm like, I didn't realize that was you. When I got the box, I'm like, oh shit, you actually designed that? Like, okay. I was like, damn.
Yeah, that was Kevin. So Kevin Raylick, after Blue Crown, moved over to Penguin. He's like, hey, we're gonna. I got this idea. I guess he's had that idea for honeybees for a long time, and pretty much, the idea he had was mostly for the back with the honeycomb patterns and to look like a bee deck.
Yeah.
But honeycomb patterns in yellow, and then have the bees on there and stuff, and then the rest he just let me run with. So it was fun. I like doing the honeybees. I'm not sure. I don't know if he wants me to say it or not, but I think they still got a couple more they're going to print. But I don't know. You never know with Penguin what they're doing nowadays. Print wise.
Yeah.
I mean, they're always to me. It's like they're putting out a deck every month.
Yeah.
There's like last year it was a deck almost. Was it? It was a deck a month last year, and I'm just
they were kind of going crazy.
Yeah, to me it was just some of them were really nice. Some of them were just like, why? Like, couldn't someone just tell them stop? Because it was maybe a little bit too much. I think it was like oversaturation in my opinion, but that's just me. Who am I? I am just a guy who collects playing cards and plays with cardboard. That's all I do.
Yeah.
That's all I do. I destroy cards. Dan knows I destroy cards. I have actually.
Yeah, you do.
I've actually to the point where I can't faro really well, so I actually took one of his decks. I actually farrowed and I actually split a card because I jammed them together. So I split one of his cards once. I still have it though. It's somewhere in this office of mine.
Sweet.
No, but yeah. So I mean, honestly, going back to your Kickstarter, I think first off, I love the deck. I thought it was beautifully done. Question I might have asked for you. I want to ask you since we have you here. One thing when Danny, I showed these to the guys. One thing that threw me off just a bit, which I understood why you did it, was all the pips and indices were the same color, all white. And I get the fact that when you did the black and green, the back designs were different.
Yeah.
Did you, by any chance, take into account like, hey, if you're playing a game and you just see that you're holding it in your hand, would that bother you, or you were just like,
I've played around, like I've done decks in the past with color face cards, and going back and forth on like adding color to the hearts and diamonds, or usually I leave the clubs and spades white for sure, and then like the draconian brimstones and the wildfires, I made the hearts and diamonds gold colored. but with those, the background colors are always the same. So just every now and then I switch it up like these. And I think with the Knights decks, I did the same thing where I changed the interior of the background of the hearts and diamonds to orange, and then the interior of the background of the clubs and spades stayed green. So that helped with the gameplay and stuff like that.
Okay.
I know I did notice that one thing we were getting pushback on with the sketch and draft decks that I did with Will Roya last year was the same thing with the pips on the draft deck. Some people on the Kickstarter were mentioning that, but the decks were already in production, so
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
No, I love it. I think, don't get me wrong, to me, gameplay wise, it'll be a little bit, I'll have to take an extra second. But in all honesty, I think stylistically seeing the direction you were going with the deck, it makes complete sense, in my opinion.
Well, if you're playing with a deck like that too, you're not exactly playing a super serious poker or anything like that. I mean, you're not. Yeah. The guys playing poker, they don't even want. They want like
casinos.
It's the regular decks, just rider decks and stuff like that, or plastic decks. That's what the poker guys love a lot, mostly. I get that question a lot at shows. Are you using plastic? Nope. Like, if they're plastic, I'd charge you $20 for them, and then buy them online. So.
Well, crap! I didn't know you did the draft and sketch decks. I feel kind of silly right now. I like those decks. Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, I've been trying to get out of freelance for years, but like anytime I meet someone and like, hey, you want to do a deck? I'm like, oh, okay. All right. Like honeybees, I've been telling Kevin for a long time, for years and years, like, okay, I'm done. I'm not doing any more. And then they would come back like, hey, you want to do more honeybees? Okay. Just because it's the honeybees,
right.
It's kind of like my baby, and
of
kind
course.
of thing. Yeah. So let's see. I wonder if there's any other decks you guys didn't know. Did you?
I didn't know you did. I didn't know you did a 52 plus Joker deck one year. That one.
Yeah.
I did not know that was.
Yeah. How'd that come to be?
Oh, they just asked me if.
Okay.
If I could design the club deck for that year, and for that one, I want to do one that was more old-fashioned looking, which I never do. My decks are not usually old-fashioned looking, and so I was like, well, this club, the club 52 Joker, especially then. Now it's a little different, but this was a couple years before COVID, where most of the members were the vintage collectors.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, all right, I'm going to do like a vintage looking deck, and so I kind of found. I don't even remember what deck it is. Some Hoffman deck with the court, and I was like, oh, these are cool looking. So I pretty much redrew them in like a different look, a little bit of different look and stuff, and then made up my own back, and made up my own tuck and everything, and it was fun.
Yeah, the way I found out about that also is because Kevin, that you probably know Kevin, the Congress guy.
Yes.
He ever since I told him, oh my God, I didn't know Randy designed these. He goes, Randy is the man. I'm like,
Kevin lives about I think we live about 3 miles away from each other.
Damn.
Yeah, we live in the same so we live in McCordsville, which is like a little suburb east of Indianapolis, and we see them every now and then and stuff. Probably about 2 times a year. Go out to dinner with him and his wife and stuff. And,
That's awesome.
Fiance. Yeah. So.
Damn, I'm the oddball. I live all the way on the East Coast. I'm in New York.
So
I'm like, the only person I know in the community that lives here is actually Solomon. He's the one that playing Cards for Life. He works with False Anchors. He's done his own deck as well, the bubblegum deck and whatnot. But he lives here in New York, and I'm like, I have never met him. Honestly, we know we both live in New York. I have never met him.
Doesn't Paul Ramsey live there too?
Maybe.
You're not Paul Riku, the jet setter Paul.
Oh no, he lives in Connecticut.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he lives in all things considered, I think he lives like maybe 4 hour drive for me, maybe 5 hour drive for me.
Yeah, I ain't driving 4 hours to meet anybody.
Yeah. I mean, I tell people sometimes, I'm like, hey, if you guys are in New York, I tell people just let me know. I'll meet up. Let's go out for a drink. Let's go out for food. I'm down for it. I mean, I'm a guy who will eat anything. I'm a big guy. I'm 6'3". I'm 6'3", over 330 pounds now, maybe 320. I'm like, I will eat anything. I will try any cuisine at least once. You know, me, I'm just down. People, but then whenever everybody comes to New York, they're like, I want to try New York pizza. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I'm like, I love pizza. Don't get me wrong. I will always go for pizza. But geez, let's do something else. Go to a
Yeah.
steakhouse. Let's go something. But no,
Well, I mean,
pizza.
it's like when you come to California, you want people want to eat avocados.
Yeah.
Avocado toast all the time.
Hey, avocado toast is pretty good.
No.
So with the playing cards, I know we've talked. You said you pretty much just use legends, right?
I mostly use them for all my solo stuff for sure. And then if I do freelance stuff like the honeybees or stuff, it's just or the draft and sketch. It's like whoever they want it with. Like
Right.
Like Will Roya, he's like, okay, two things. He always wants USB-C and bicycle branded. Yeah. And I'm not sure if we're gonna do it or not. Will already mentioned like doing like a follow-up to those in like a series. And that his idea was a chalkboard and I think sidewalk chalk. I don't know if I do the sidewalk. Okay. I definitely would do the chalkboard thing.
Sidewalk chalk would be a little weird.
Yeah.
I was gonna be like chalkboard and dry erase board.
Yeah, dry erase board would be cool.
Hey, quick give them ideas. No.
There you go. Yeah, the sketch and draft decks were like on my ideas to do list for like about years now, and I just always kept pushing it back, and then when Will asked if we could do a deck together, I was like, hey, I got this idea I've had for a long time. It'd be pretty cool with the bicycle branding and stuff. And so the draft deck was actually going back to how I got started. The draft deck was like my nod to the deck that got me into it, the Revision 1 deck.
Right.
So it's kind of like
Sweet.
the same vibe. His is like more of a really lighter cyan color, but yeah.
Now going into how you create, are you more of a digital, illustrator person, or you do more freehand sketching, actually pencil and paper, and then transfer it to digital?
It depends on the theme. So like the Wild West decks you guys showed there, that one was the first one where I was like, I'm gonna try to do everything with pencil and paper, and then scan it into the computer to do all the coloring and compositing work. So the Bullock card there, everything on that card except for the K, I did in pencil first. Oh, and then his name underneath the pip. Even the pips, I drew like half of the pips and then scanned them in and flipped them and all that kind of stuff and kind of cleaned up the middle and everything. And then the backs were fun because I can show a picture of it on the Kickstarter page. The separate elements, like the scroll work and stuff, were like just like separate pieces, and then I brought it. I outlined them to make them all nice and clean in Photoshop, and then just played around in Photoshop to do a nice composite and everything.
Nice. Okay.
So that was fun. So learning that, I was like, okay, I'm gonna try something, keep going with that. So like the House of Tudor one I'm working on right now, I scanned them, I drew them all, I'm drawing them all in pencil and paper, and then scanning them in, and I'm doing like hardcore Photoshop painting and stuff for all the color and everything.
Oh wow.
So yeah, so that one's fun. I like it takes a lot longer, but I like it, how it looks and everything. So I'll probably do it again with another deck in the future.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, because usually when I talk to designers, it's one way or the other, and mainly digital, just because that's kind of the way to go now.
Well, I like to end up digital always, for sure.
Yeah.
Like have you guys seen the Pollock decks we did?
No, that I can say no.
Yeah, I don't grab.
Oh wait, no, yes, I'm sorry. The Pollock deck.
Uh,
I'm like looking
Here's
at
one.
it. I'm sorry. I'm like looking at it. I've been using it. Yes.
Oh
I'm
yeah, that
Here's
one.
one right
Okay.
this one. Yeah. I'm like wait. I don't know. I thought for some odd reason my mind went to polka. I'm like
So
I don't know why. But yes, this by the way, I love this deck. I've been using it for like a week straight. This
so
deck is beautiful.
thanks. So the Pollock decks, Mike Wilson and I did. So Mike and I, Mike lives right around here also, and we're great friends, and our families hang out a lot. So Mike's actually running the definition deck right now on Kickstarter. We did this. I think this was our second project. So we did Oculus together, and then we did
Okay.
the Pollux. And so when Mike and I do projects together, it's like, okay, you pick the theme, and then I'll just design it, and then you take care of everything else. So he's like, hey, I always want to see like a Jackson Pollock deck, you know. And I was like, oh, I don't know what I do. I like total control when I'm drawing something. So me, that was like the opposite of how I work. So I kind of like made up a plan. I was like, all right, here's what we're gonna do. So had him, we got some black paint and just day and night by them paper. I was like, okay, you do some splatter paint, just like one or two splatters on each paper, and then I'll do the same thing. And we brought them all together, and we picked like 20 we liked the best, and then we scanned them into the computer, and then like in Photoshop, say like this like here, this here. I would separate each of the background from it, change the color to what I wanted to be, and then rotate it symmetrically. So like right here and here, this whole back card is completely symmetrical. So that was fun. I love doing that because it was definitely different than anything I had done with the decks before.
Yeah, I mean, this deck, like I said, I've been using it for a week straight, and I love it. I think the face cards alone, I mean, even that, just also having that the King of Hearts, even with the little like soft watermark behind everything, even
Yeah.
on,
Yeah.
I'm just like, I loved it. Even with this, like I'm going to show the three of spades, just the fact that it's a slightly gray with a watermark, and it's almost as if it's to me, it feels like if the paint was actually seeping through a canvas and coming out the back. Like
Yeah, I'm kind of noticing that looking at the Wild West, the watermark kind of behind there too. That's such a nice touch because it's faded, but you know it's there, but it's not distracting. Like it's
So I did for the Wild West, I did 4 drawings for each, a different drawing for each suit. I don't remember which ones there were with what. I think the spades had a bar
stool. Yeah.
Downtown Deadwood was, I think, the clubs. I'm not sure. I think the Hearts were a Native American village, and then the other one, I think the Diamonds, because as General Custer's there, it's the Needles and Black Hills area.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is like a set of rock formations. So yeah, and just kind of playing around and make it look like a watermark where it doesn't distract too much is always.
Yeah, it's like that. It's it's perfect. It's great. It's cool.
Wild West is one of my favorite designs. Wild West and Rome are probably my favorites.
I love the name underneath the big pip. Like that is so cool because now you don't need to include a who's who card. You know, you can just look at the card itself. Like, oh, okay.
I learned that lesson with the Rome deck because I did it too subtle with the Rome deck.
And then I think you also added the booklet.
Yeah, I did the booklet. But the Rome deck, if you guys have one of those, the names in the map, like in one of the corner. I don't know if I have a Rome one of it right around me.
I don't have it. I don't have it open. I still have it sealed.
Oh, okay.
But
so I made the name kind of subtle because so in the Rome cards, the background behind the courts and the number cards is like a map of Europe, and it's shaded. The coloring is darker in the areas that is under Roman rule during Julius Caesar's time period, and then I have like names like Gaul and Italy and all that kind of stuff on the map, and then to the right, to the left, underneath Spain, it says like Julius Caesar or Mark Antony or whoever. But it's really subtle.
Oh,
so
I see. So basically, it looks like as I'm going through the booklet. So
Yeah,
like the
yeah,
booklet,
you see it in there,
yeah,
like right,
Yeah.
right
right to the left,
there.
under. Yep.
Yep, you'll see it.
So I always like at shows,
Huh.
I always have to tell people, like someone's looking at the Rome deck, like, oh, I always tell them like, it's all ancient, real people from ancient Rome, and then I always got to tell them what the name is and show them
Huh.
the name and stuff. So like, okay, I'm not doing that subtle anymore. Just put the name under the pips. So like with the House of Tudor, I'm doing like King Henry VIII and Anne Boleyn and stuff. And the names are definitely going to be front and center, I think, on that one. That deck I'm going to do. I've never done this for some reason. One-sided courts.
Are you gonna do a full body quartz
No, it's mostly so
or three quarters?
Yeah, it's like mostly like waist up.
Okay.
Okay.
And it's kind of the court's going to look like kind of like a like the paintings from back then.
Yeah.
From the Tudor era, and have a lot of embellishments besides the painting and everything. It's going to be very intricate. So
It makes complete sense though.
Yeah, that was here. I'll show you the tuck. So this is Lawrence from Legends already did some prototypes for the tucks, which I did first. So like this is going to be the 3-deck.
Yeah,
box.
I've seen that. Was that on your Instagram or something?
Yeah, I think I did post. Yeah, and then these are the tucks.
Those are beautiful.
Thanks. So this is like my closest to ornate since the ornates, probably.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
So
super clean.
And each one has interior foil also.
Oh wow.
So two foils on each, and then one foil on the interior. So it's fun. I like that one. So we'll see how that goes. I have no idea. I'll probably do that one in the summer on Kickstarter.
I mean, everybody loves like English royalty and things like that, just because look, Art of Play did standards. The Gentleman Wake did a ripoff of standards.
With the same artist.
It's the same, Kentrell Studios, same artist. So I was just like, it's just I consider it like standards 2.0. It's just in my opinion, it's like a continuation of it. But everybody loves them. Everybody has like a little bit of like a little Anglophile in them because they love a little bit of like the royal, the monarchs, and things like that. So I think it'll do really well.
Yeah, I think so too.
Hopefully. It's funny that there hasn't been a ton of them though, like Egyptian and Viking themes. I mean, Jesus, look how many of those have been around for years. Every year there's a couple Viking decks. It seems like, and Egyptian decks. I mean, Steve Minty did a ton of really cool ones, but there's been plenty more besides that.
Oh yeah, we had a couple just the past couple of years. The gods of Egypt and things like that. It just happened. Yeah, I think last year. I think it was last year.
Yeah, I'll get questions from people at shows like, oh hey, have you ever thought about doing this theme or this theme? I'm like, well, I do my themes, stuff I like, but also I do the themes based off of what's also been done before. And I was like, well, Egyptian and Vikings, I would love to do one, but there's been so many of them.
You're right.
Yeah. Now you've been doing this for so long. 2-part question: what was your favorite deck to create so far? And who was, in your opinion, the best person to collaborate with to create a deck? and right now, Randy's like, "Oh, damn! Now I don't want to say one person. Someone's gonna get pissed off."
I was gonna say, I'm just glad you didn't ask who the worst person.
No, I'm not gonna,
No. It's probably Will anyway. I know. I'm just kidding.
That'll be you, Dan. You're probably gonna ask that question. My favorite
deck is probably Rome. And it's mostly because I'm a huge ancient Rome fan. Okay. I love Julius Caesar and Mark Antony and all that stuff, and the whole toga thing and just the colors. I love red and gold, and so that just gets me. So that'll always be one of my favorite decks. Like I did the Augustus deck solely because I sold out of the original Rome. Caesar and Rome Antony decks. I'm like, I gotta have this deck around forever. So and when Augustus runs out, when I sell out of those at the shows and stuff, I'll do another variation. I thought about doing a sequel with like the Julio-Claudian dynasty with like having Caligula and Nero as the heroes of the decks, but I'm not sure. And then the back would be Rome burning. My favorite collaborators probably definitely Mike Wilson and Kevin Raylick, probably both. I can't pick between them, but right. But even Paul Middleton, we did the Lux decks together. Paul's great. Yeah, he's easy to work with. I like easy people who's easy to work with. Will Roy is easy to work with. Pandrea is not easy to work with.
I mean, heard that before.
Yeah, I've heard that one.
I met him for the first time. So when we did the decks with HLPC, and then I did the Blue Crown Luxury deck way back, and then I did the Brazil deck for Alex, which he had this idea. Do you know the Brazil deck?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was during. It was like when the World Cup was going to happen in Brazil, and it was like just a few months before. And he's like, "Hey, I got this idea for a Brazil deck and to have like in soccer and stuff like that." He's like, "I need it designed in 7 days."
Jeez.
So we did it in 7 days.
Yeah.
So that one he couldn't be all super picky or anything like that.
Yeah, just get it done. Get it done.
Yeah. So, but yeah, probably Mike and Kevin. I mean, I haven't worked with Kevin in a while except for the Honeybee stuff, but we see each other during the 52 Jokers and just hang out a lot and everything and stuff. So it's good. Yeah. And I see Mike all the time. Like we usually go out to dinner, drinking and stuff. We were actually, my wife and I and Mike's wife and Mike all went to a beer fest 2 weekends ago. Ubered and everything, and go there. And there's about 100 beer vendors around the Indiana area, and yeah, that's awesome.
Nice.
So yeah,
sounds like
sweet.
I could never do. I can't do beer.
Drink beer.
Hops. I used to drink beer when I was younger, like crazy, but as I got older, hops actually gives me indigestion and heartburn, so I have to stick away from it. So I'm like, I'll drink wine, I drink spirits, but beer is one of those things I can't. I can't touch it anymore.
Yeah, you just gotta take that heartburn medicine right before it.
Yeah, it's either that or I gotta drink something like really low alcohol beer. Like I can't go crazy. I can't do any because I used to love IPAs. Like
I hate IPAs.
Yeah, no.
I used to love like big IPAs, but then I'm like, yeah, I can't do those anymore. So
just give me a good blonde ale and I'm good.
Yeah, my poker buddy's gonna be shit about it all the time, but my favorite beer right now is PBR. I love it.
I mean, hey,
hey, there's a time in everyone's life where that's the beer they drink.
Yeah,
that was when I was 22 playing local shows in Berkeley and Oakland, and because that's the only beer they give us for free, room temperature.
I went from drinking all the fancy beers and stuff, and then like going to Corona or Heineken or whatever, and then to this. I was like, you know what? Just like the taste of this better than all the rest. I don't care.
Yeah.
Hey,
you start up here and you're like,
yeah. I don't like beer that's very heavy in hops and stuff anyway. So yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. Hey, but my poker buddy's gonna be crap about it. Half of them are drinking Coors Light the whole night. So
so be like, you're talking shit about my PBR and you're drinking Coors.
Hey, I'm a Coors Light guy too. So
see, I would do if I can have maybe a beer, maybe two, and that's it. So I could do like if I'm going out, like I know I'm gonna sound stupid. I usually get like a Blue Moon just because I can handle that.
Hey. No, Blue Moons are great.
I can handle a Blue Moon, and then every now and then I'll get a Heineken.
Let's just call Blue Moon the official beer of baseball. There, over and done with.
Yeah, I play softball every fall, and Blue Moon is the perfect draft beer, the beer that's
Mhm.
on tap. And I always had Blue Moon at the bar. We always usually go to the bar for like a drink or two after the game, and yeah, Blue Moon all the way.
Born in Colorado, by the way, at a ballpark, nonetheless.
Wait,
That's
You
why
would-
it's a perfect beer for baseball.
You would know, Danny. You would
Yes,
know.
I would know.
Yeah. So if you didn't know, Randy, Dan is a huge baseball fanatic. He's also a huge he's a huge Oakland A's fan. So,
oh,
yeah,
it's a mini A's games. I like their stadium is gigantic.
It's gigantic. It's old. It's a piece of crap. God damn it, I love it.
So when I moved to California, I was there maybe a couple months. And it was I moved out there by myself. Well, I moved out there with my brother originally, but he moved back. But by that time I was by myself, and I was a big Junior Seau fan at the time.
Okay.
And the I don't remember if Junior was still playing in 2000 or not. I don't know. But so the Chargers, it was like a home opener, I think it was, Oakland against the Chargers. And so I went to the stadium there where the A's play. And I was like, I almost wore my Junior Seau jersey. And I am so glad I decided not to. The Raiders fans are the worst fans I have ever seen at any sporting event ever.
And I agree. I was a Raider fan for a long time, not anymore. But man, you go there wearing anything but silver and black.
Yeah.
Good luck.
I saw plenty of people wearing Chargers jerseys, and they were throwing all kinds of nasty stuff at them while they were going up the stairs and stuff. Like, whoa!
It's like the New York Boston rivalry. See, because I've been a huge Yankee fan since I was a kid. Like, I've always been a Yankee fan, and now Dan gives me shit because I live in Queens now, and I actually live maybe 5 minutes by train from Citi Field Mets Stadium, basically.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm right next to the Mets, but I'm a Yankee fan. But I remember one time I went, and Dan's heard this, I went to a Yankee game. It was Yankee versus Boston. And it was a great game. But the New York Yankees bleacher creatures are a thing of themselves. So you see a sea of blue and white. And all of a sudden you see a little patch of red in the middle of it in the bleachers. The bleacher creatures got on them so badly, it made all the Boston fans get up at the same time and leave.
Oh my God.
And you could see it from any point in the stadium. You could see all the people in red got up and left.
But see, I feel like you should know that going to a Yankees versus Boston game. You might not know that going to an Oakland Raider game. Like, you should wear the opposing team's colors.
See, I would not wear if I'm going to a Yankee Boston game, and if I was going to Boston to watch it, I probably wouldn't wear Yankee clothes, just because I know I'm going to get the shit kicked out of me. I mean, I'm a 6'3" guy. I can handle 1-on-1, but 20-on-1, I'm dead.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, thank you. I'll root for my team,
and
that's it.
You know, and when it comes to Oakland A's, complete opposite from the Raiders. There, we'll haze each other, but there's no violence or shit like that.
Hey Dan, guess what?
Yeah.
Guess what? Nobody ever goes to the stadium to watch the A's.
Yeah, I know. That's why it's great to go there. But yeah, you're one of 500 people. Yeah, it's a bad look, but damn, you get like a whole section to yourself.
Screw that. You go from like the bleachers down to like first row off of bleachers.
They really don't have bleachers anymore. The Raiders ruined that stadium.
Yeah. I will admit, every time we went to an A's game, it was usually to watch the Detroit Tigers because I grew up in Michigan. So
well, see, and they don't draw, so yeah, it's like crowds. So that's why I like going to the A's games. I like going to A's games on like Thursday night against like Miami. Like, there's no one there.
Yeah,
it's just great. I love it. And I'm gonna enjoy it until they either move or get a new stadium. So,
hey, I love where the stadium is. It's just so easy to get to right off.
Yes, yes, it is.
Yeah,
because right now where I live, there's a BART station 5-minute walk from my house. So,
nice.
That's perfect. Yeah.
I sometimes miss the BART, even though. Yeah, it was my first big city experience, and so it was unique. But Yeah, it was cool. I missed the bar.
I'm trying to get Dan to come out east during the baseball season, so that way him and I can
Yeah.
go watch a couple games here in New York.
I
He's
would
gonna,
love to go to fucking those stadiums. That'd be fucking great.
It'll basically blow his mind how to get there. You're gonna be like,
Yeah.
hey, go 2 miles on the train. It's gonna take you 40 minutes, 50 minutes on a train. So
Yeah.
you're like, holy shit, this
Yeah,
is stupid.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, but no cars.
So you're talking about the Red Sox. One of my favorite projects during my day job was actually with the Boston Red Sox and Absolute Vodka. So my day job, I design all day for alcohol companies usually.
Hi, welcome to my world. I'm
I
in the wine.
saw your address was at the car's like, hey.
Yeah, I work in the wine business, so yeah.
So we do like probably, you know, what stores you well, it doesn't matter. So we do a lot of in-store displays.
Okay.
So like, you know, St. Patrick's Day for Jameson displays, or just general summer for Absolute, Jameson, Malibu, Jim Beam, whatever. And, you know, like holiday, any holiday they can think of to sell booze is what we design stuff for. And so yeah, like about, I think it's before cards. So probably about 12 to 14 years ago, we got a project where we're going to do this big display for Absolute and the Red Sox. And it was really cool because the Red Sox, we actually talked to some Red Sox people on the phone, like not the players or anything, like just the, you know, the people behind the scenes, and asking what we would need and everything. So they gave us like all kinds of photos of the close-up photos of the scoreboard and the green wall and everything, stuff like that. And we made this really cool cardboard display. It looked like the green wall on the side, and I created the scoreboard from scratch in Photoshop and like painted dents of the baseball dents in there, and the headline was in the scoreboard parts and everything, and it was a blast. And
nice.
Yeah, I'll send you guys a render of that. It's cool. And I guess they liked it so much they would run it year after year in the Boston area. So I think it ran about 4 or 5 years.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah, so it was cool.
That seems like a long time in marketing.
That
is.
Yeah, we were just like every year, like, okay, just change this copyright from 2014 to 2015 or whatever, and then they're going to print a bunch more. And that was like one of our first big cross promos with like a sports team. Now we do like nonstop. Like we do a lot of Golden State Warrior stuff with Hennessy. Well, actually with Hennessy and Absolute, and we'll do this year we did Philadelphia Eagles with Jameson. Did some Tampa Bay Buccaneers stuff, and done some hockey teams and basketball teams, and a couple soccer teams. So it's fun. I like my day job's a blast, but yeah, it's a lot of very intense deadlines and, you know, client changes and stuff. So the cards, I get to just go and do what I want, kind of.
Yeah, it allows you to like break your habit of like being constantly like in a box, and now you're like, you know what, I want to get out of that box. I want to do my thing.
Yeah,
so exactly. You get to have like creative freedom to do whatever the hell you want.
Right. Which is why I stopped. Which is why I finally like I'm done freelancing, because I don't want someone telling me like you know, it was getting too stressful doing freelance work. You know, getting stressed out about my night hobby job. You know, like, I'm done with this. So
you already have a stressful job as is doing your day job. Don't want to stress out at night.
No. Makes sense. So I just work on themes now that I'm into, and then even if like, you know, Will Roy or someone wants something, like, okay, I'll do that, but there's this theme I like that I want to do for it, kind of thing. Like, yeah.
Do your own thing.
Awesome. That's so cool.
That is so cool. No, so yeah, Randy. First off, thank you for coming on the show.
Oh, no problem.
We definitely enjoyed having you. It was a blast. Also, guys, if you haven't followed Randy, his information will be down below in the description. Follow him on Instagram. Give him a like. Go check his Kickstarter out. It will be in the comments below. Definitely check out the Ireland deck. This is honestly,
I love these boxes, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. Now I'm like, I want that.
You
Gilded
completely
set.
changed my Kickstarter with sending me this to check this out. So thanks.
Oh,
Thanks,
yeah.
thanks for the extra work.
And if
Dan-
you contact Lawrence, just tell him I said hey.
You got it.
Dan's the minute you said that, Danny's like, "Damn it, Randy made me do extra work now." Shit. But
So
you know-
who did you print with usually before? Is it USPC?
So I did my first 2 decks with USPC, CCC, and then my third one I did with WJPC just to switch it up because I needed perfect registration for a marked deck.
Yeah, you
know?
can't get that with USPC.
No.
Right, and I don't, I just kind of went with them first, and now I'm doing Legends because I want foil, and
Yeah,
I really enjoy their foil work.
And they handle really well
Yeah.
too. They honestly
Yeah.
do handle really, really well.
Yeah, so
I remember with the honeybee Metalux or whatever it was, the I don't know what they called it, the one where it had Metalux on the back.
Yeah.
That was like towards the beginning of USPC doing the Metalux stuff, and we even I even made the gold lines thinner than a lot thinner than usual, and it still spread like crazy. It was like, oh, this is horrible.
well, and their pricing for their Metalux is really high.
Oh, they're pricey overall.
It's really high. Yeah. So yeah, hey, more people need to check out Legends anyway because they put out some good stuff. And
Yeah,
I've started to get.
I don't even know how many decks I've printed with Legends. Ever since the Draconians, I guess.
Yeah, you just got to deal. You just got to deal with the time difference and the communication. But I think that's totally worth it for the price.
Yeah.
So and the quality.
With the emails, it doesn't matter either. So
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Google Translate does everything for you. Works perfectly that way. Well, Randy, we're not going to keep you anymore. We want to thank you again for coming on to the show.
Yeah.
And guys, go check them out. Kickstarter link will be in the description. Randy, thank you very much. We got to do this again.
Sure.
Hopefully once, knock on wood, it funds, we'll do it again. We'll have fun.
Cool.
All right, man.
On that note, guys, see you later. Wait. Dan, no.
What? No, I'm in my kids' room. I'm not shooting cards all over the place. My desk would capture them. Yeah, no thanks.